Today we're talking the Rolex Sub, no date, 11/4/06/012349.
You ask questions and I answer.
Kind of like Gary Vee, but like for watches.
What's up, Watch fam? Welcome to episode 22. I always hit the table when I say the names and ASKTNH. It's like a thing. It's like Morse code. My great-grandfather did Morse code. I didn't know him, so nothing to tell you.
What are your thoughts on the Rolex Submariner reference 114060?
The 114060. I think it's a long reference. I think it's a reference that no one will remember because it's too long. Why? I guess they've made so many watches now, they have to make the reference number so long. But if you add letters, then that's a mess. You can't add letters because now it's coding now. I don't do coding. The watch itself is a different story. I think the watch is it's a good watch. Okay, to get into what the hell the watch is, right? It's a classic Submariner. It's black dial, no gold, right? I don't think it came in gold. Definitely steel. I only saw it in steel. It has the kind of the fatter case, actually same diameter of 40 millimeters, which to me is always like a mind game. I don't know how that the new cases, relatively new, are the same size as the old ones. I have no idea how they work that out. I think it's just higher. Maybe it's got more width. More thickness. It looks big. It's like I've tried one on it, it looks larger, definitely on my wrist than the prior generations. That's a cool thing. It's got the Saracon bezel. It's not going to fade. That's a good thing for a new watch. If you're into the whole new movement in watches, it's a really good thing. It's a classic Rolex movement. I don't know what caliber it is. It doesn't really matter, frankly. I think when you go into Rolex, they know that a lot of the people that are in there don't know that much about watches. They'll just throw a lot of numbers in your face and tell you, oh, this is the classic, movement 11940692er. And then you're like, oh, of course, yes, of course I know. Rolex does that. They play a lot of like smoke and mirrors kind of shit. I don't like that. You guys know to cut the bullshit. Don't try to deceive the people that are spending money with you. I feel like you owe them at least that. But they do it. It's a great watch though. It's definitely not. I'm not contesting the value of the watch. Whether you should buy it or not, I think really falls, like it usually does, on the consumer. Do you care that much about the new model? Do you care that much about the fat case? Because if you do, then yeah, opt for that over your 5513, which you can get for a lot less. Sure. I mean, if it's just the Rolex Sub that you're checking off your list, which is a huge check that most people want to check, get off their list, then no, I wouldn't go for it. It doesn't make any sense. I think if you're just going to check a really cool Sub, the Sub's one of the most classic dive watches, probably the most classic dive watch. So if you're just trying to get that off your list, then don't buy it. There's no reason to spend the extra, $1,500, $2,000, and they fall in at 7 and change, and then pre-owned not that much less. So no, I wouldn't buy one if that's your intention. If your desire is, hey, I really like this design and the subtle differences in the Saracon, bezel and the fat case, then go right ahead. I mean, even the bracelet is pretty cool. I think it has that Oyster Flex thing, not the Oyster Flex, but I don't know. Put it here. Put the term here. I don't remember the name, but it like slides. Tempest Machina has it too. I don't know. I think that's really cool. It's not my thing. I like old watches. I would much prefer a 5513 or whatever it is, 5512, like a ghost bezel. I would prefer that watch with a faded out bezel, almost maybe blue sometimes. But definitely like a grayish thing. I like my watches, especially my tool watches, a beat up, Submariner, something that's supposed to be under the water, to look like shit kind of. I think that's where it looks best. Like I said this before, and I'll say it again. A mill sub looks cooler if it's beaten to hell than it does new old stock. I don't really care about it new old stock very much at all. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I don't. I care a lot about one that's been beat to hell. So that's really a matter of taste. I think that for the direction of Rolex, it was the right move because it's a more secure watch. It's not going to break. It is not going to. I mean break. I don't mean like break. I mean fade or tarnish as easily as the old ones. But I think that it's kind of loses sight of the fact that it is in fact a tool watch. I don't think that a diver is going to wear this watch very much so at all, because why would they? It's more of it's not a jewelry piece, but it is more on the side of jewelry than a lot of other dive watches of Rolex's past. In fact, no, it very much so is a jewelry piece in comparison to other Rolexes of times past. Not today. Today they're all kind of very jewelry-like. So that's my answer. If you really like that fat case, if you really like the Saracon bezel, and no judgment here, I mean that's cool by me. Go ahead. It's definitely they're not killing you on price. It's a pretty fair price, and you can go ahead and do it. I'm definitely not going to give it like a buyer beware. But if you're just looking to check off Rolex Sub off your list, stay away. There's no purpose. You're just kind of wasting your time and wasting $2,000 that you can go out and buy a different watch. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching episode 22 of AskTNH. Once again, get out. It's like MTV Cribs. Remember that? Get out of my house. Leave. This isn't my house. This is an office.